Hello, welcome back to a spiritual ascension, right? My 5 year ascension journey. Sorry, because I just did one of the other videos, so I have to skip the names of them, right? Um, so where I left off was kind of going through talking about ending a relationship that I had with my best friend of over 20 years. And the reason for that was coming to understand that relationships were starting to end in my life. Again, I was in that first year of my journey. I had no idea what was going on. I had gone to stay with this family member in New Jersey so that during the international epidemic, so that, I can help her out and also that I could just be around other people. But now going back and understanding that I was purposely sent back to deal with these relationships because I had been brought up in New Jersey. That's where all my family was. My friends were, um, majority of my friends were, and I needed to go back there to put an end to all of these relationships. At that time, I didn't know that or understand that. And that's why I say to you guys, understand that if you are on this journey and you are losing people or people are falling away from your life and your relationships just no longer feel right, this is the reason why. Okay. You're probably going to end most, if not all, of the relationships from your life. And again, your journey is going to be different from my journey. I don't know. I can't say for sure, like if you're married or something like that. Um, I remember actually meeting a young woman who I believe was going through an ascension journey. And she had said to me that she kind of had this same, you know, epiphany that she needed to get a divorce and she had this kind of feeling like she needed to go to San Francisco, California. And I think she lived, I forget where, I don't know if it was Georgia or South Carolina or something like that. And she says, I know nobody over there. I know nothing about, San Francisco, but there's this inner voice, my intuition telling me that I need to go um, to San Francisco. And also that, my marriage is ending. So just an example to you, not to say that, not telling you to do that at all. Please, if your marriage is meant to stay together, it will stay together. And please do try to keep it together. But this journey, also know that you need to be alone so that you can feel the full benefit of the divine working through you. Okay. Please don't take my anything I say as far as divorce. I'm just giving you an example of someone that felt like they were going on this journey and it was something that they needed to do. Okay. Um, I had already broken off my relationships with my sisters years ago. Um, I probably need to get into another video about my relationship with my mother, which is very intense and deep. And also understanding this person who I was staying with, this family member, as you'll understand as we talk more about this, the relationship with this person. I have to look at my time. Sorry, I don't want to talk too much. So I thought I had left my apartment in New York the end of April 2020. And by September, we had moved and it was a bigger place. So there was more room for the children and myself. Um, Also, I was close to a mall now where I said, at this point, I'm running out of money. The things that I thought I was going to be doing as far as a business, um, I can't do those things now. So I needed to, get a job, and I ended up working at Bloomingdale's. There was also this feeling my father had told me back in 2017 that someone would come into my life, and I didn't know when that would happen, but I kept thinking, okay, that can happen at any time. And I ended up meeting someone who was from the town that I came from in New York, met them online. And we connected on a soul level. And he was also very spiritual, had gifts, as I did. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is my person. Kind of fell head over heels um, in love with this person. And it was now me traveling back and forth to go and visit him in New York and just feeling like this is my answer because I was trying to say, how do I get back to New York? How do I get back to the town where I was? And he lived in the town where I was, that I had come from. And I was just so excited that this could work out, that this was the person that my father had told me about. And at a point in the relationship, he had even said to me, do you want to think about moving in with me? And I'm like, it's like this is the answer. Like, I'm already like heading over heels in love with him. And I wanted to go back home, and this is my chance. This whole thing is going to be over with. And before we had started actually dating, I had always learned to say, how long has it been since you've been out of a relationship, or what were your last relationships like? And he had said that he had been talking to someone, um, a couple months back the previous year, and it didn't work out. But I could see something within him that there was something very deep there. What had ever had happened when he had said that? But he said it's over with and so forth. Um, Now, I always tell you that April 30th is a very big, is like the start of my year. Okay, so April 30th of 2020 is when things actually started for me on this journey. That was like day one. April 30th, that weekend, he actually had said, I want to even marry you. And I'm like, this is like, I'm so in love with this person. And he's so perfect and he's so beautiful. And he is my match. This is my person. And he said, what we'll do is that weekend, we'll go just look at rings and see what you like. And so he said to come over, I think it was Sunday morning, which would have been May 1st. So April 30th of now 2021, 1 year later after I had left New York, um, That night I had gone to go to bed, and when I went to go lay down, there was something there was some kind of feeling like I could not lay myself down. The weirdest feeling. I had already felt energy through Reiki and just being able to feel other people's energy, so forth. But this was the very first time where I felt this energy within me, like my soul could not lay down. Weirdest thing. Tried several times to lay myself down and I could not lay down. Finally, after, a while, I was able to lay down and go to sleep, but just my soul was restless, going to sleep that night. The next morning, got up, got ready, packing my bag and everything, to get ready to head to New York to see him. And I tried calling him and there was no answer, which was rare. And I think I had even tried to text him that night before, got no response. Finally, just before I was getting ready to leave, he calls me and he's like, "You can't come today." And I'm like, "What do you mean? What's going on?" He's like, "You just can't come today." And he was very angry. And I never heard him like that. And he says, "I'll call you later on." So I'm like, "What the heck? It was so weird." So later that evening, around 5 o'clock or so, he did call me. No, he didn't. He didn't call me, he texted me. And I could tell something was wrong, but I didn't know what it was at that time. And more so, I was trying to comfort him, soothe him, and saying, whatever it is, it'll be all right, so forth. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking about it now. 2 nights in a row, I couldn't lay down. Friday night and then that Saturday night, I could not lay down. And then Sunday was when we were supposed to get together to go look at rings. Um, so finally, he had said to me, "We'll go later in the week, um, or next weekend, I think, and we'll go, to the jewelry store." But long story short, found out that this person who he had been seeing months before had come back. I think she found out about me and he fell into the trap and had been over there that Friday and that Saturday night. And the reason why I could not lay down, like my soul was restless, did not feel comforting. That's why I say that I believe that this person had some kind of deep past life with me because of the way my soul was reacting in that way. Um, Whatever ended up happening with that person, you know, I asked the question of, is this my twin flame? Which at the time, I didn't really understand the true meaning of what twin flames were. And saying, okay, this, because the word was kind of being tossed around, saying, okay, this must be my twin flame. And this person who he was dealing with was that karmic person. And I really didn't understand what the word karmic exactly meant. But we all have karmic people within our lives that come back to either go through some kind of lesson with us, to teach us a lesson, for us to teach them a lesson, whatever it may be, or just a soul contract that this person needs to come in at this time to stir up something within us so that we can learn some kind of lesson. And at that time, I just knew this word of karmic. This is the karmic, that's interfering in our lives. And he chose the karmic over me. And I think by July, beginning of July, like it was like it was over between us. And I was just so devastated. And I'm going to leave it here for this portion, but just felt like my whole world had fallen apart because also not only did it end with him, but now I was still stuck where I was. And probably that's something else to talk about is feeling that sense of lack, that that feeling of desperation, which is something on your journey that you're going to need to get over, a sense of lack, because I was lacking what I felt was a need to get back home. And it wasn't time for me to go back there then. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Again, if you're coming into any of these videos, please go to the intro so that you'll kind of fully understand the entire story, okay? I'll see you next time.